Hello. I'm ready. So, I'm Hosam El Nagar. I worked at AP for many years, and I work now at this foundation where I developed the Journalism Now online academy, and that's my alter ego over there. So it's longer than I thought it would be. In the past few years, working in media development, I've been sort of pondering on and off what is, what's journalism as a sort of a function, a social function or a human function, and how would it be with today's technologies. And so we start from the beginning. It's a little bit of a thought journey. Obviously, we used to be the kingmakers. Nobody would get on air without us, and nobody could reach the public without us again. So we're the gateway for business, government, PR, etc., etc. And equally, the public themselves, you could say, generalizing, they wouldn't have access to information without us. So we were sort of the internet before the internet. And all of this, obviously, had an implication about our relationship with the audience, which is sort of, if you want to sort of summarize it, I think it's similar to government, the relationship between government and subject, which is superior, distant, and so as a result of our practices and our desire to do the right thing, be politically correct, etc., etc., we may make maybe the audience feel shackled, and some of the audience, obviously, and tame their human nature, human spirit. But obviously, this has all changed with the internet, where suddenly everything is open, and now it's really us who are standing by the gate on the side, and everybody can reach the public directly. So we're just another voice now. And in fact, there is also, obviously, the dishonest actors. So what does that mean in this sort of landscape of information that the audience is getting? Our rational approach, our self-effacing, disciplined approach may come across as sort of confusing, maybe certainly distant, of formal, etc., which in comparison to all the other stuff which is affirming what people believe in, what people feel. And so we now shackle ourselves, we are imprisoning ourselves by our traditional formats, by the opaqueness of journalists, industry, and the plane in which we work. So I think we can address that we fight that with transparency. So we've got a lot of really interesting stuff going on in the media, in the whole process that the story creation and the fact that behind every media organization there are so many really interesting people. Every one of these people is a potential influencer, is a potential presence, is a human being to which the audience can relate. So just report from the newsroom to the audience the same way they report to the audience from outside the newsroom, and show bear your weakness, because that will get you close to the audience. And a practical maybe approach and a good example is the very simple use of 360 video. This is an example where somebody films in 360 an interview, and then you can edit it like it's not 360. So why don't you film everything in 360 and so on? And this will be really handy with when fake news becomes really hard to tell what's true and what's not, when you have all this additional data that you can triangulate, and that transparency will build trust with the audience. And finally, we need to expose our vision, our values. We need to share that with the audience so that they know what you believe in, so that they can relate to you and connect, and also maybe we need to look in different places as well for stories and reach. And as a final thing, so if we tried quickly to answer that question, I think the answer lies in the relationship between us and the individuals.